And just like that, we back. Peace and love, beautiful beings. What it do, world? It's your girl, Danae. Welcome or welcome back to the God of Enlightenment. This is another episode of Justify, our mini-series where we literally dive into the different topics and things that people do where they use things as a tool for injustice. Okay? And this episode specifically is going to piss some people off. It's going to wake some folks up. And it's going to bring some awareness to some things. Big, bold, brave are those who choose to act or behave in such a capacity that tries to dictate how the next person should be living their life. This episode, we're talking about none other than lifestyle choices. The lifestyle that people have chosen to live for themselves. So often we're not even recognizing how people are using the very thing that we should all have the freedom to do and be as a weapon for injustice. How do people use your lifestyle as a chosen weapon to support injustice? When a person chooses to be homosexual, heterosexual, when a person chooses to be single, whether they choose to date, whether they choose to get married, when a person chooses to be of any particular religious belief construct, when a person chooses to live their life however they choose to live their life, when that very lifestyle is then taken away from them or made to feel as though they're not doing enough, or maybe they're doing too much, when people are made to feel like the very choices that they have the freedom to choose is somehow the thing that is the problem. When the very person who is guilt tripping, shame and blaming and agonizing the person for having the choice in the first place is really the problem. Let's talk. So again, as I mentioned, we have different things that people naturally do that are these major forms of lifestyles that people have that are being used, right? And so for me personally, I grew up in the church. I was raised Christian, right? But one thing I never did, or especially not intentionally, was try to shove the Bible down anybody's throat, right? My natural presence of how I show up made people feel threatened by me. My natural presence of how I show up, how I walk, how I talk, how I carry myself. I was never the Bible bumping whatever person, right? But at the same time, I'm an honest person. I'm genuine. I'm loving. I'm kind. I'm respectful and I'm respectable. I am just a lovable person, right? I have a beautiful personality, all the things, right? And so people feel like I was putting things, and it should bother me because I'm like, why do people feel? And the reality is the world, when you choose to live a certain lifestyle, when you have chosen to live a certain lifestyle, baby, people are going to see it a certain way. If you are choosing to be in a marriage, let's take marriage for example. If you're choosing to be married, right, you're choosing to be in this whole marriage over here. People who are single, who can't find a man, who can't find a woman to love them, who can't find a person that's going to actually come into their life and stay, a person who is single and just have gone off the misery deep end, those people tend to chastise the married people. They're usually, you see them all in the comment section talking about how, oh, that man, he cheating on you, or that woman, she cheating on you, or she gonna be soon cheating on you, or she don't love you as much as you think she does, or he he's not really who you think he is. Like, right? They're all in the comment section making all these negative Nancy remarks, right? These people have chosen to become one and to live a lifestyle where they have children and they love on those children and they raise those children with love and kindness and respect and joy and freedom. And yet, here you are with the people in the negative Nancy's in the comment section. The courageous Karens in the comment section. Baby, because you got to be big, bold, and brave to try to use the freedom to choose that you have to try to dictate how the next person gets to live their life. Lifestyle has become weaponized. If a person chooses to be single, that's their choice. When a person chooses to get married, that's their choice. When a person chooses to be polygamous, that's their choice. When a person chooses to be, when a person chooses to live somewhere, like whether it's north, south, east, west, right? You'd be surprised how many people are chastised into or out of living in a certain place because of the weather, because of the regional things that come with living in that certain space. Naturally, up north is typically a whole lot colder down south. So if you hear somebody in the south talking about moving up north, you oftentimes hear somebody say, "You going where? You about to live where?" Baby, it's cold up there. Do you know how them winters, it be freezing? Baby, if they want to go live up north, let them live up north. That's their lifestyle choice. And if they don't know, they will know. But lifestyle is literally the way people choose to style their life. How do you get to tell me that I don't get to wear this because you don't like how it look? Baby, it ain't about you. If I got up and got dressed and looked myself in the mirror and said, "Damn, she fine," that's the only opinion of fact that matters. Period. Everything else is a bonus. You dig what I'm saying? And so many people, and I want to say this to someone who needs to hear this right now. Baby, whatever lifestyle you've chosen to live, I don't care how untraditional or anti-natural it may seem to other people. But baby, if you've chosen to live off the grid, if you've chosen to live a life where you never step foot back in another church, if you've chosen to live a life where you don't ever want to see or speak about another religion, if you want to live the lifestyle where everywhere you go is cold, everywhere you go is rainy, everywhere you go is sunny, everywhere you go is spring or fall or whatever lifestyle you want to choose to live, baby. If you want to dress, I remember there was this guy. This was maybe 7, 8 years ago. A guy literally, I posted, I don't know if it was a video or a picture or what it was, but it was the summertime. So I was always wearing like thin spaghetti strap tops. And he commented and he was like, "We get it." He was like, "We get it. Like, you look good. We get it. Like, you got your arms out and whatever. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was just basically like, "We get it. You can stop wearing those shirts now." And I literally laughed when I read it. I laughed as I blocked him because what? I literally laughed as I blocked him because you can have an opinion, just not about me. You can have an opinion. You can have an opinion. But your opinion cannot be a threat to me at all. You can be like, "Oh, I think you should have did this." I'll be like, "Okay, thank you for that." Like, but the minute you thinking that you can tell me what I can and cannot wear, what I can and cannot do, giving me suggestions is not the same as telling me what I can and cannot do. I'm open to suggestions. Maybe you should wear this color instead of that color. I'll be like, "Okay, I can see how we lifestyle." Okay, lifestyle. Lifestyle. It's such a weaponized thing, and I don't think a lot of people realize it. That's why I'm really trying to give some examples. Let me give another example. When a lot of people talk about, "Oh, people don't ever go to church no more." It's a lot of people that just don't go to church. We hear pastors, we hear ministers, we hear deacons, we hear different congregants in the church talking about how people don't go to church. We hear it being publicly spoken about, right? We rarely, if ever, publicly especially, we barely, if ever, publicly hear people talking about what's going on in the church or in the church in the collective church that is keeping people away from church. We don't hear people talking about church hurt in the church. They typically don't talk about it until once they've left. But we hear the pastors and the deacons and the ministers and the congregants complaining about how people are not showing up to church. But we don't often hear about the solutions to whatever problems that are being resolved to make people feel comfortable enough to show up at the church. Lifestyle. Somebody can get up and show gratitude to the Most High by simply saying, thank you for getting me up. Thank you for protecting me while I laid in rest. Thank you for loving me every single flow. Thank you for protecting me from dangers that I may not even be aware of or are existing in this present moment. Thank you for the very breath in my lungs to give you this prayer here and now. Thank you for the wellness in my body. Thank you for the grace that I get to express through my kindness and the liberty of my freedom. Thank you. Some people like to light an incense or a candle, or they like to write out their gratitude to the Most High. Some people like to go outside and walk barefoot in the grass, hug a tree, talk to the tree, climb in that tree. As different forms of gratitude. That's their lifestyle that they've chosen. Your singlehood don't make you no better than the next person because they married. And your marriedhood don't make you no better than the next person because you married. Your polygamy don't make you better because you got 8 partners and the next person only got 1. Hello, somebody. Lifestyle. How you choose to live your life is literally the way you choose to style the life that you've been given the freedom to live. Lifestyle. It's so important to identify how to live your life freely without becoming a hindrance, without becoming a blockage, without becoming a tool or a weapon of injustice for the next person. The moment you start putting your insecurities, your fears, your shortcomings, or your short-sighted views of life onto the next person, you are now using your lifestyle as a weapon against the next person. If you are someone who goes to church every sun flow, that don't mean the next person has to. That person may choose to use that flow to rest. They may choose to use that flow to go out in nature, go for a hike, or go spend some time under the tree. Maybe go spend some time outside with themselves. They may choose to use that time to go to brunch, baby. I'm going to go brunch instead of going to church. You have other situations where, let's say a child, because think about it. Children go to school starting as early as 2 and 3 years old nowadays. So if a child goes to school from 2 to 3 years old, and every single year, the only time they get off is probably 2 months in the summer, right? But pretty much year round, they're in school. They get the weekends off. They get the inflows, they get the inflows off, and they get time for the different holy days that they've commemorated in the country, right? They get that time off. But for the most part, it's year round, except for maybe 2.5 months in the summer. Let's say a child decides that they want to take a gap year. Many parents will weaponize the fact that they're often the ones paying for the lifestyle that child is choosing and saying, I'm not going to pay for it anymore because I'm not supporting it. Because they don't agree with it. That is a weapon. You just use your financial support that you have been giving your child as a weapon against them. Now, so long as that child is not doing anything that goes against what's good and what's best for them, so long as that child is not doing anything that brings direct or indirect harm to themselves or those around them, they should be able to make the decisions that they choose to make. Right? Because a lifestyle is literally the way you choose to live your life. And I know I've said that, but it's literally the way you choose to live your life. So as long as you're not going against what's good and what's best for you, as long as you're not bringing direct or indirect harm to yourself or others around you, then you should be able to live the life that you choose to live your life. You should be able to live your life the way you choose to live your life, period. lifestyle has become a weapon because people want this, what is it called? One world order type of mindset for people. They want everybody to be robotic. They want everybody to walk the same, talk the same, dress the same, think the same, move the same, operate the same. They want people to literally be in conjunction with each other and do all the same things. Every flow we get up and we do this at 7 and this at 8:15 and this at 9:30 and this. They want us to be so, I don't even want to say in sync. That aren't even the right word for it, but they want us to be so in sync with each other that we're going to be so out of sync with ourselves. My goodness, that's a word. They want us to be so in sync with one another that we're going to be out of sync with ourselves. And that's the way that they win. Baby, lifestyle is yours. You have the freedom. And I don't know who this message was meant to find. But baby, listen, you deserve to live the lifestyle that you choose. And just earlier this flow, I literally saw a message where this lady was talking about how she lost her daughter. And she basically went off grid. And she knew what she was doing, and she knew what God had her doing, and she knew what was going on. But everybody was calling her crazy and weird and strange and everything, right? Because of the lifestyle she was choosing to live, because of the way she was choosing to grieve and mourn the loss of her daughter. People were calling her all different types of names and labeling her all different things. And now, that mustard seed of faith has multiplied into millions of people that she's able to help support. Literally millions. When you choose to live the lifestyle that you choose to live, trust me, it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off so abundantly, so prosperously, and in such a wealthy way that you won't even remember the naysayers. You won't even remember the rooty poos. You won't even remember the ones in the back of the class. You won't even remember them because who are they anyway? But that's the message, beautiful beings. My goodness, that is the message. When you I'm looking at my notes. It says when you think about it, everyone has the I can't even read my writing, y'all. Even if they have this, thank you. I'm glad I read this. Right. So some people look at other people's lifestyle. This is an important point I wanted to mention. Some people look at other people's lifestyle and then think that they want the lifestyle that person has, right? But out of brotherhood and sisterhood bonds, out of loved ones, out of money, fame, and success, most people don't even have 2 out of 5. Most people don't even have 2 out of 5 of what I just named, between having solid brother and sisterhood relationships, outside of having solid loved ones, so like siblings, parents, solid day ones, right? Between having success, money, and fame. Right, or even we'll say wealth, right? Because not everybody is desiring to be famous, right? But to be famous or well known, right, in your respectable lifestyle. Most people don't even have 2 out of the 5 that I named. People who have money, oftentimes money and success and fame, oftentimes don't have solid brother and sisterhood bonds. They oftentimes don't have solid loved ones relationships. People look at someone's lifestyle and they want what they have without knowing, 1, what it took for them to get it, 2, what they're having to do to keep it, and 3, they don't know what that person is going through behind closed doors to have it. My goodness. Whatever lifestyle you choose is yours. Know that you have the freedom to choose it, and also respect the fact that whatever lifestyle you choose, you always have the freedom to change your mind, and also It comes with what it comes with. So if you choose it for yourself, know that you can change your mind at any given time. Also know that it comes with what it comes with. So be willing to pay the price, whatever it is. Peace and love, beautiful beings. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Justified. Don't be a weapon for injustice. Just don't. I know we're all working on being better, beautiful, amazing, wonderful people. And if you're watching this, I trust that you are. Remember, you are the joy. I'm hearing you are the joy that sprung from your mother's rules. No, I'm done. I'm about to get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you tell a friend to tag a friend and tag a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you are following us on all our social media platforms, The Guide of Enlightenment. Know that you are loved. Know that you are loved. Yes, you are. You matter and you're important. And the lifestyle that you choose is too. Peace and love. Peace and love. I love you. I love you. I love